Louisiana. I'd like to welcome everybody back to tonight's Division IV quarterfinal playoff game between the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs and your Ouachita Christian Eagles. Stan had a moment to talk with Coach Fitzhugh earlier. Daniel, you and I have had a chance to watch a little bit of film of the Bulldogs, I should say, and I have to say that I pretty much agree with everything that Stan had brought up, as well as Coach Fitzhugh, in the sense that this is going to be a football team that I'm not going to be surprised if they throw the ball 40 to 50 times tonight. And, they're going to live by the pass, or they're going to die by the pass. And I think that where you've seen Ascension Catholic be successful in some of the opponents we've seen, at least, is on the big play.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be looking for. That's kind of how their team's composed. They got a first-year coach, that kind of switched the offense, and it really fits this kid, Bryce Leonard, number 12. Bryce Leonard, it kind of fits his style, and so that's what you expect. They've had a kind of an up and down season because early in the season they had like a COVID. I don't know if it was an outbreak or just a quarantine, but they missed some practice days, and then the storm hit, down south, and so they actually missed 18 days of practice, 2 regular season games, and 2 scrimmage games. They were able to get the Jamboree in, but it's just kind of interesting that they've had a lot of adversity really early in the season, and for us, this is week 12. We're healthy. We had full practice. We've had really good weather. I was thinking about that. Every time we go to stand before game, talk about the weather. It's like it's football weather. It's been that way pretty much every week. And, but this team faced them. So it's week 12 of a long season for us. But for Ascension Catholic, this is, maybe like week 8 or 9, in comparison. So I think that's kind of interesting.
Well, the Bulldogs had a pretty good drive tonight to get up here to Eagle Stadium, traveling up from Donaldsonville, Louisiana. It's around 240 miles, and look like on Google Maps it's about a 4.5-hour drive, and looks like they, looking across the way right now, looks like they may have brought a few people up here with them. And I tell you, when you look at the film that the Bulldogs, have available online, and of course you and I have got to see every contest the Eagles have played in so far this year, should be a pretty good football game tonight.
Yeah, no question. I feel like. We're not one-dimensional on offense, and I do think that this team that we're playing tonight is a one-dimensional team. That's what they're out here to do. They're 10-1 on the year, lost to Vermilion Catholic, who hosts St. Fred tonight. So, the Warriors had a long drive tonight, just like the Bulldogs did here. But that's their only loss of the season, lost by 8. And I think it. OCS, we've seen us run the ball, we've seen us throw the ball. We've seen this team produce offense in a number of ways.
Well, the series with the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs, and it is a series because, it's a couple of games. One of them, the series dates back to 1987. And, some longtime Eagle fans, some of the people that still hang around here roughly my age, claim to be one of the greatest games that they've ever seen an OCS football team play. I'll actually attest to this one because, unfortunately for me, it was one of the games that I actually played in. And it was a dogfight, semifinal contest down in Donaldsonville. It saw us get away with a 22-14 win over Ascension Catholic that night. But it was one of the most physical games that I ever played in. And we had a guy get a broken leg on our side. I think they had a guy that broke his collarbone. 2 broken bones the same game. And, I will tell you this, as a senior tailback that game, I woke up Saturday morning I was telling some of the coaches, I woke up Saturday morning with a black eye. Now, how do you get a black eye wearing a face mask? I still don't know, but I had a black eye from that game. And every bone in my body hurt. I'd been hit, and, it was a dogfight. The Bulldogs are Ascension Catholic that night. They featured one of the most prolific runners in the state that year. It was a guy named Jermaine Williams. Jermaine Williams actually went on to sign with LSU and play for the Tigers. And my understanding, he had a pretty good career down in Baton Rouge. And it was a great game that night. I'm telling you, it's nothing like competition. Those guys wanted it just as bad as we did, and fortunately able to come up with a win. Well, as good as that game was and as much fun as it was to play in, the next time we met the Bulldogs was it wasn't anything like that. It was an ugly game. It saw the Eagles make it ugly in a hurry, and the Eagles won that one 61-0. back in 2011. And so, great game in 1987, dogfight, two teams going at it. Next game, absolute total blowout. And looking at the film and knowing what I know about Coach Fitzhugh and this coaching staff, as of now, I don't know what we're going to get tonight.
Yeah, who knows what we're going to get. I think the weather could play. It's kind of cold. We were throwing the ball around down there, and it's, the temperature is supposed to drop a little bit. That may have an effect on the ball. The turf is nice, though. It looks great tonight, so I don't think that's going to create any issues. One big thing for Eagles fans that I think is of note is, senior center Andy Weatherford went down last week. Hurt his knee a little bit, and I think he's got some results coming. So I don't think he's a go tonight. I think he's going to be watching, and so we've seen Carter Balsamo fill in for him at center on a number of occasions, including the second half of last week's games, and Balsamo does a fine job with our offensive line. But Andy Weatherford was kind of anchor. He was there last year. He's a big kid, so that's just something to know. But other than that, we're pretty healthy for a team 12 weeks into the season.
The head coach for the Ouachita Christian Eagles is in his 24th season. Coach Fitzhugh has a career record of 218 wins against only 76 losses. The head coach for the Bulldogs is in his first season with Ascension Catholic, Chris Schick-Snyder. Coach Schick-Snyder has a career record with the Bulldogs of 10 wins against only 1 loss. The Eagles enter tonight's contest at 11-0, 8-0 in district play. The Bulldogs, they come in at 10-1 overall and 5-0 in district play as well. The Eagles come into tonight's contest ranked number 1 in the state, according to the 1A Louisiana Sports Writers Association poll, and carry the number 1 power rating in Division 4. The Bulldogs come in at number 4, according to the same poll, and are carrying the number 9 power rating into tonight's game in Division 4. Having said all that, well, none of that matters this time of year. Win or go home. If the Eagles aren't able to win tonight, well, you and I both know what they'll be doing next week, and that'll be cleaning out lockers. But if they are successful tonight and able to pull off a win, where and who could the Eagles be looking at next week?
Well, the game to keep an eye on is number 4 Calvary is hosting number 5 Sacred Heart in Shreveport tonight. And so if we win, we will host the winner of that game. But, man, we got to get past this team first before we talk about, hosting a game. Like you mentioned, they're ranked number 9 in the power ratings, but kind of number 4 or in the opinion polls. I think I've seen them as high as number 3. So this is a team that the first 2 games that they lost due to the storm could have had a huge impact on their power ratings, but they lost the games, and so they didn't get any aid. But hopefully we'll play the winner of the Calvary Sacred Heart game.
Well, the Eagles make their way onto the field. Eagles come into tonight's contest wearing the home green jerseys, green pants, and gold numbers, and of course their traditional Ouachita Christian gold helmet. Ascension Catholic makes their way up to Monroe tonight in traveling whites. White jerseys, white pants, gold helmets with purple trim. And the Bulldogs getting ready to make their way onto the field. In a moment, we'll go down to the sideline with Stan Humphreys for tonight's coin toss, brought to you by the fine folks at Marion State Bank. And the Bulldogs make their way onto the field, moments away from getting tonight's contest underway. The captains for the Eagles getting ready to make their way out onto the field. And believe it or not, I don't have the information that Kim always provides us, but be interesting to see what the Eagles' record with the coin toss, winning it versus losing it tonight so far has been.
I could probably look that up pretty quickly for you, Dave. I've got the stuff right here. Let's see here. Wins, losses.
Oh, and by the way, for everybody listening tonight, she keeps up with the coin toss.
Yes, and she fills us in each week. Uniform records at the half, grass, turf. I mean, we got all this stuff here. So, let's see.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go down to the side. We're going to go down for the coin toss with Stan Humphreys in the Marion State Bank sideline report.
Fellas, there's only one person gonna talk trash on this field tonight. That's me, okay? Not any of y'all gonna talk trash. All that stuff y'all see on Saturdays and Sundays on the NFL and in college, we're not gonna do that tonight. You score a touchdown, act like you've done it before, all right? Make a tackle, act like you've done it before. Use the ground to get up. Okay, once you use the ground to get up, then you help that other person up, all right? I got a coin. It's got heads and tails. What would you like? Tails. Tails? Said tails. I called it, not like he would, but it's heads. So you want to toss. Would you like to defer or you want the ball? Defer. Want to defer. Green.
Won the toss, guys. We defer. We'll be kicking off tonight first.
All right. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank Sideline Report. The Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to win the coin toss tonight, and they defer to receive the ball in the second half. So we'll get a look at the Ascension Catholic offense pretty early. We're going to take a quick break from here at Eagle Stadium as we have the invocation and our national anthem. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf.
We're going to be led in prayer by OCS Band Director Keith Welch. Then following the prayer, we'll have the national anthem.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity that we can come out on this night, on this field, and cheer on two great football teams. Lord, we ask that you be with all the players, keep them safe. Father, keep them sportsmanlike. And we also pray for traveling grace for Ascension Catholic as they travel back home tonight. Lord, we know that nothing we have is without your grace. And we thank you most for your Son, Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for our sins. And it's in his name we ask all these things believing. Amen.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We want to have a big shout out and thank you for all of your help in raising money for the Afghan refugees. At this point in time, the fundraiser is over, but they were able to raise enough money for 4,500 pairs of socks and underwear. Man, that is a great show of love from all of you here at OCS. Thank you very much.
that up this week.
Sam Harrell's going to get his leg into it. This one's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line by number 1, Casey Mays. Mays is looking for a soft spot on the Eagles special teams, and he found one over on the far side of the field. Got to the edge. Good recovery by the Eagle kicking team as they minimize the damage on the return. Looks like they'll spot this football. It's going to be a gain of 17 on the return. Let's call it the Bulldog 27-yard line.
Yeah, nice kick by Sam, though. He pinned that one pretty deep, and like you said, it minimized the damage. Thomas Culp running the returner out of bounds there.
Not a lot of wind. Looking at the flag poles out there on the goalposts here at Eagle Stadium, and they are dead still. So a nice kick by Sam that time. Number 12, Bryce Leonard, is going to go to work for the Bulldogs. They line up with 4 wide receivers, 1 lone running back. Leonard looks to throw and does. Boy, that one was dangerous, as he threw that one into tight coverage that time. And unfortunately, Eagles looking at the receiver. I've got a feeling, Daniel, if somebody would have seen that one, that might have been an interception on the first play of the game.
Yeah, it was right there. It was kind of a weird play development. You know, it looked like he had a quick tunnel screen or a kind of a stop route, and he didn't throw that. Instead, threw it into double coverage. Ben Duvall in the coverage, good coverage, but he didn't have his head turned around.
Second down and 10 for Ascension Catholic. Leonard in the shotgun. Play action. Throws it out in the flat. He's got a receiver, and that receiver is going to have a good pickup on the play. Looks like about 7 or 8 yards. Donnie's going to give him 8. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. This is the opening drive for the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs. Eagles won the toss and kicked to them. 11 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. No score at Eagle Stadium. First 3rd down of the night for either team. Leonard is going to bring the Bulldogs to the line with 4 wide, 2 on each side, and a lone running back. Play action again. This time it's going to be swatted down. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 2, and I've got a feeling you're probably going to see the punting unit from Ascension Catholic right now, yep, and here they come.
Yeah, that was number 41, Maddox King, the sophomore outside linebacker, I believe, getting his hands up and batting it down. The pass was intended for number 13, Brooks Leonard, who's the brother of number 12, Bryce Leonard, quarterback. I would assume twins. They're in the same grade. So.
Great job that time by the Eagle defense. They hold 3 and out for the Bulldogs. Good snap.
Oh, we're going after it.
Well, I tell you what, their punter took his sweet time with that one. This one's going to be fair caught and hauled in by Tristan Wiley for the Eagles at the Eagle 40-yard line. Great job that time by Tristan, as you and I, Daniel, have seen all season long. We seem to be susceptible to letting those things hit and roll and not been able to, going to lose a lot of starting field position. That time, the punt travels 24 yards. Tristan caught it right where it came down. First down and 10 for the Eagles. The ball is going to be at the Eagle 40-yard line.
That punt was a pretty tight spiral. I mean, that thing was a catchable ball for Tristan there.
Landon Graves going to go to work. First down and 10 out of the shotgun. 2 running backs join him in the gun. Turns, hands this one off to Strickland. Strickland's got a seam. He's going to, oh, boy, I tell you what, 1 man to beat. Gain of 2 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 for Ouachita Christian at their own 43-yard line.
You're a former running back. It looked like he may have had a cutback lane there. You know, he could have just put his outside foot and headed back towards the middle of the field. And that would have been nice to see from Chad. He's been doing that recently, so I expect the coaches will remind him of that.
2nd down, 7 for the Eagles. Landon Graves in the shotgun. Strickland joins him in the gun. 3 receivers part of the set. Landon looks to throw his first pass of the night. Does. He's got a receiver out in the flat, and that's going to be complete to Noah Lovelady. Lovelady's going to make one Ascension Catholic defender pay a price for coming up for the tackle. Really nice run after the catch that time. A gain of 16 yards and more than enough for a community pharmacy first down.
Yeah, really nice body control by Noah. He got hit and almost shoved out of bounds and almost fell, but able to put his hand down and maintain his balance to pick up an additional 7 or 8 yards there.
First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the Bulldog 41-yard line. Landon Graves with an eye backfield beside him. 2 receivers part of the set. Good snap from center again with Strickland. Strickland's going to find a seam. He's going to lose the football, and the Bulldogs are going to have it. I'll tell you one thing, Daniel, if it's anything we've seen out of Chad, we've seen some explosive runs. We've seen a ton of ability. But every now and then he puts it on the ground, and that one's a pretty costly one early in tonight's contest.
Yeah. He got hit pretty hard, but on the hit, it looked like the guy may have just put his helmet on the ball. Chad's coming up favoring his hand a little bit, so I hope he's okay.
Going to bring up 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs following the recovery. Going to start this drive at about the 38-yard line. 9 minutes and 56 seconds left to play in the first quarter. No score at Eagle Stadium. Bulldogs 3 and out last time. Eagles are going to lose the ball on a fumble. Second possession for Ascension Catholic. Leonard goes to work. Play action pass, feels some pressure, scrambles out of it. Now he's going to lose the football. Well, I tell you what, the Bulldogs that time able to fall on it. It looked like Leonard actually covered his own, but as a result of the play, he's going to pick up 4 yards on the play. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6 missed. I wouldn't say missed tackles, evaded tackles. I mean, we had pressure on him, but he put some shifty moves and able to pick up positive yards on really a busted play. So
2nd down and 6 for the Bulldogs. Ball at their own 42-yard line. 9 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. No score here at Fitzhugh Field. Second possession of the night for the Bulldogs. Still looking for a 1st down. Leonard calls for the ball. Got time. Sets his feet. Now he's feeling some pressure. He's going to try to get out of it. He may have made it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. That's going to bring up another big 3rd down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, nice tackle by senior James David Miller there. Leonard pulled the ball down and tried to shoot up the gut there, and James just wrapped him up and wouldn't let go. Good defense there. Good pressure. We're getting good pressure. So
I'll tell you another thing too, Daniel. If you notice, and maybe this is just me, but it looks to me like we're getting some pretty good play out of that Eagle defensive secondary too, because that's a couple of times that he's wanted to throw and he's had to pull it down.
Yep, that's a good point.
3rd down and 6. Bryce Leonard in the shotgun. Got some time, going to float a screen out, and boy, the Eagles sniffed that one out. Holy smokes. Tristan Wiley was waiting on him to catch it. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down and 6, and the Bulldogs are going to have to punt this football.
Tristan Wiley's played cornerback for a couple years, and so his experience right there, that was an experience play. He recognized it as soon as it was getting set up and able to jump on it and hold him to no gain.
4th down and 6 for Ascension Catholic. Ball at their own 42-yard line. Going to punt the ball. Eagles are going to send a couple of guys deep. One of them's Tristan Wiley. The other one is Thomas Culp. This is going to be a real short kick. Culp's going to signal for a fair catch, gets up under it, does a great job of securing the football. And again, the Eagles are going to start off with good field position. 1st down and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, the punter just kicked that one almost, not straight up, but a lot higher, and it had turnovers. But Culp, good job catching that ball right there. Pretty sure hands. So, man, now we got to hold on to the ball, though. That's what we have to do. No sooner than I say we need to limit turnovers, we have one. So let's hold on to the ball for a few possessions here.
1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Second drive of the night. Landon Graves goes to work. They go right back to Chad Strickland. Tell you what, you like to see a guy get another chance to get that one out of his system. Gain of 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. They spot the football at the Eagle. Well, let's call it the 37-yard line.
Yeah, Chad's a player we've relied on all year, and like you mentioned, that may be his 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th fumble of the season, but each time it seems like they go right back to him. They got a lot of faith in him running the ball.
2nd down, 8. Graves in the shotgun, sends 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Good snap from center, keeps it again on the ground with Strickland. Strickland again with a really nice, tough run that time. Going to be real close. No, it's going to be a gain of 8, needed 8, and that's enough for a community pharmacy 1st down.
Yeah, good run by Chad. If we can establish the run, soften up the defense, kind of open up the playbook, I think that's the game plan that Coach Vadrine and his crew came into this game with tonight.
1st down and 10, Ouachita Christian. Graves in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Strickland, a lone running back with him in the backfield. Again, going with Strickland. Chad samples the waters inside, tough sledding, bounces this one, and boy, I tell you, may have been a better decision to lose a yard or pick up a yard. Is bouncing it outside. He's going to end up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up now 2nd down and 14 back at the Eagle 42-yard line.
Well, Strickland's a downhill runner, and you know, if he stops his feet, then that's usually not a good thing. A smaller running back, you know, not able to get outside of the defense on that run.
2nd down and 14. 3 receivers to Landon Graves' right, 1 to his left. Out of the shotgun, Strickland joins him in the gun. Good snap from center. Landon looks to run this one himself. Not a scramble at all. Designed run, and boy, I tell you what, stingy defense out of Ascension Catholic. Landon's going to, well, Donnie wants to give him a yard. He's going to give him 2. So it's going to bring up a pretty manageable, let's call it 3rd down and 13. Yeah, 3rd and 12, actually. They'll spot this football at the Eagle 44-yard line.
Well, so far early in this game, our success has been north and south. Each time we've tried to go sideline to sideline, it hasn't worked. Good pursuit by the Bulldog defense on running down Chad earlier and then landed on that play.
3rd and 12. Graves in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Has time, sets his feet, lets it go. Got a receiver. That's Wiley's got it at the 40. Across the 35, going to be run out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. Really well thrown football by the junior quarterback, Landon Graves. Gain of 26 yards on the play, and more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down. As the Eagles move this ball down to the Ascension Catholic 30-yard line, 1st down and 10. 5 minutes left to play here in the 1st quarter. No score at Fitzhugh Field. Landon Graves is going to send 3 receivers wide to his left, 1 wide right. Lone running back with him is Strickland. Out of the shotgun. Good snap. Turns. Hands this one to Strickland. He is going to be leveled. He took a shot in the chest that time by an Ascension Catholic defender. And I'm going to tell you something. He fumbled the ball earlier, Daniel, but that time, boy, I wouldn't have blamed him if that ball would have gone sideways, as he takes a huge shot but secures the football as he makes it back to the line. No gain on the play.
Well, the hole that is supposed to be there is not there. That's 2 times in a row where Chad's gotten the ball and he's seen no daylight, so he stops his feet, and that time he pays for it.
2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Graves is going to send 1 receiver wide right, 1 left. 2 running backs with him in the backfield. Lovelady and Strickland. Good snap from center. Fakes it, keeps it himself. He's got some running room inside, and he's going to pick up some tough yards right up the middle of the Ascension Catholic defense. Gain of 6 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 as they'll spot this football at the Ascension Catholic 24-yard line.
Well, 3rd down and 4 is not a bad spot to be if you're the Eagles. Right now you're in 4-down territory here. You know, so you got two plays to pick up the 4 yards. So, you know, that's a good feeling for your offense when you can run any play that you want to here. You can take a shot if you'd like. See what the Eagles do.
3rd down and 4. Graves turns, fakes this one to Strickland, keeps it himself. He's got some running room. He's across the 20, across the 15, down inside the 10-yard line. The junior quarterback can definitely get it done with his arm, but that time he gets it done with his leg. A gain of 15 yards, more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down, as the Eagles have it 1st and goal at the 9 inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone at the 9-yard line.
You know, that's something we all know that Landon's capable of doing, and we've just kind of seen a little bit more and a little bit more each week throughout the season. So, you know, dangerous player with the ball in his hands.
1st down and goal at the 9. Graves turns, fakes it to Strickland, keeps it himself, bounces, makes one man miss, and he's going to pick up a nice gain on the play, gain of 3 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd and goal as they spot this football at the Bulldog, well, call it 6-yard line.
All right, good drive. The Eagles are orchestrating here. Want to see them cap it off with 6 points and take the lead here in the 1st quarter.
Graves in the shotgun. 2 running backs going to join him in the backfield. Strickland and Lovelady. 2 receivers split wide right and left. Good snap from center. Going to give this one to Strickland. He's going to run a foot race to the corner.
He's in. Oh,
going to put him down. Well, I tell you what, too, you know, let's say that he didn't make it in, but man, they're going to spot this at the 2. Unfortunately for us, Stan's over here on our side of the field, but you know Stan can tell you where he went out of bounds. But unfortunately, it's over on the far side. Now you're going to be looking at 3rd and goal at the 2-yard line inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone. Graves takes his time, plenty of time on the play clock, inside of 10 seconds. 2 running backs with him in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Fakes it, keeps it himself. Ooh. Boy, I tell you, they're going to mark him down at the inch line.
Man, what a defensive stand. It was close. It looked like he was going to get in with ease, and then he just stood up.
I got to tell you, to me right now, from our angle, it looks like the ball's spotted, and the cone is breaking the plane.
It is. When Baltimore goes to snap it, he's actually going to move it into the end zone to snap it 4 yards back.
4th and an inch. Graves takes it. Touchdown, Washita Christian. Landon Graves is going to take it in from an inch out for the first touchdown of the night. As Washita Christian will take a 6-0 lead. Well blocked that time, Daniel, as he had plenty of room as over the left-hand side of that Eagle offensive line and able to get that one in pretty easily.
That was Landon's easiest run of that drive for sure. I don't think he got hit, but good drive. Ate some clock there by the Eagles.
Sam Harrell on for the extra point. A little mistiming on that one as the snap, and, well, you know what? Who cares? It's good.
Yeah, he got it down a little high. He got it down, though. Able to get the PAT converted.
Washita Christian is going to take a 7-0 lead, and we're going to take a minute to go down and talk with Stan Humphreys for the Marion State Bank sideline report. Tough drive that time, Stan.
Yeah, it is. You know, guys, they started out the first part of the game on the first drive. They were in like a what I call a bear defense for people. They cover up the center, both guards, and then they got 2 defensive ends with 2 linebackers, and their free safety is actually the one that's making the play up there in about 4 yards. You know, we used to always talk about take your wide receiver that they're playing man-to-man on, have him run inside and block your free. The guy that's playing him man's going to go with him, so you're actually blocking 2 with 1 person, and we might can hit one out the side on that. But it's a great job to make that big 3rd down to Tristan and then continue running the football. Even though they're putting 8 and 9 guys up there saying we're daring you to pass it because we're really wanting to stop the run, it's a great drive.
Nice kick that time again. Thanks a lot. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Harrell with another huge kick on the return. That's going to be number 1, Casey Mays. Boy, I tell you what, the Eagles special teams that time bringing the helmet. Gain of 3 yards on the play. And look, hey, it's great to make that tackle, but it's also great to have a kicker that's going to kick this thing inside. Well, they're going to spot it at the 10. I was going to say, it is inside the 10. Let's call it the 9. But, boy, what a great kick and great coverage that time out of the Eagles special teams.
Yeah, junior Colton Alford, man, flying down the field, able to make that tackle. I think that's one the returner actually assumed he was going to get past, but Colton wrapped him up and brought him down. Nice play.
3rd drive of the night for Bryce Leonard. 3 and out on all the rest of them. Leonard, quick snap, throws this one out in the flat. And the Eagle defense is out there. Athletic move out in the flat by their receiver. Going to pick up 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, good coverage there. Again, Tristan Wiley recognized again. He didn't make the tackle, but he shot upfield and made the guy move horizontal so that Zach White and Maddox King could finish him off.
Eagles take a 7-0 lead on the Landon Graves touchdown. Touchdown brought to you by the fine folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct. 2nd down and 8 for the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs. Leonard looks to throw. He's going to have to run away from pressure. And there's going to be a nice collision on the far side of the field. Well, I tell you what, if you're Coach Scheck-Snyder, you sure hate to see Leonard laying the lumber out there, but he does a great job of putting the shoulder down and getting what he could. Picked up 2 yards on the play, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. They spot this football at the Bulldog, let's call it 16-yard line, 14-yard line.
Yeah, he comes in. He's about 6 feet tall. Measures about the same as Landon. I saw him side by side a minute ago, and Landon seems a good bit bigger, but Bryce Leonard's not scared to run the ball. Landon's also in on defense right now. 3rd down, and I don't see the penalty marker, but I'm also not seeing a timeout indication. Oh, there's a flag right over here on the near side.
So it's going to be encroachment on the Eagle defense. So the Eagles are going to get penalized 5 yards. The Bulldogs need 6. So they're going to be short a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. And Daniel, I'm going to go out here on a limb and tell you, and I may be wrong, but I do not remember them running the football so far tonight.
No, just the quarterback's going to keep it. He hasn't handed one off yet.
3rd down and 1.
Oh, did it again.
And the Eagles are going to jump off sides again. It looks like we got into the neutral zone. But actually, that one's going to go against the Bulldogs.
Okay.
And if you look on the far side of the field, you can tell it was number 8 that actually got dinged. One of the receivers actually jumped offside on the far side of the field, and that's what got him the penalty. Now, that's not to say we didn't have a couple of eager starters as well, but I think they must have gotten number 8 first. 3rd down now again, 3rd and 6. Leonard in the shotgun, quick snap, looks to throw, does, got air into this one, it's going to be incomplete. The receiver begging for an interference call, he's not going to get it. It's going to bring up 4th down again for the Bulldogs.
Good coverage by Cole, but interesting defense there. Maddox King, the linebacker, and Ben Duvall, the linebacker, checked out. And Garrett Simmons, the senior, and Landon Graves going on defense, and they had 6 DBs on the field for that 3rd and long situation. So interesting approach. I mean, well planned right there by the Eagles and good coverage.
4th down for the Bulldogs. They're going to punt this one. Their punter has taken his time with the first couple tonight. Eagles almost got home on the first one. There's Hamby. He's going to come up a little short on that one.
Returnable.
Wiley's going to run up under this one. He's going to field it cleanly, and he's got some running room. Still on his feet. Now he's at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Washita Christian. Number 3, Tristan Wiley, is going to take that in from 40 yards out and add to the Eagle lead.
Great return by Wiley. That punt was low, kind of a low-line drive. It was returnable, and Tristan Wiley broke a tackle and got outside. And
would you say he broke a tackle, or would he break like 6?
Well, one of them I thought he was going down. You know, he put his hand down. The rest of them he ran through.
Great return that time by Wiley. Sam Harrell with the extra point attempt. Signal ready for play. Good snap, good hold. The extra point attempt is up, and it's good. As Washita Christian will take a 14-0 lead here at the end of the first quarter. I want to thank tonight's first quarter sponsor, our first quarter sponsor, the Darren Dugan Agency. American National for all your home, auto, life, and business insurance needs. Call Darren today. 318-807-2100. That's 318-807-2100. I'd like to thank the folks at the Darren Dugan Agency for their continued support of Washita Christian Eagle Athletics. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys for the Marion State Bank sideline report. How's it going, Stan?
Well, good, guys. You know, we had that 3rd and I think it was about 3rd and 7 here that they had on offense, and y'all saw the substitution, taking out 2 backers, putting in Landon and another guy in the secondary, and then the penalty actually was on the outside out here on Thomas Culp. He walked up to try to press the receiver to jam him and be physical with him, and when he did, he was offsides on his alignment. So, but then they gave the 5 yards right back to us, and we were able to make a great return on that punt return. That you know, we haven't had a lot of those this year. We've been fair catching most of them or letting the ball bounce, and you know, this guy's. He had the first punt wasn't a bad punt. The other ones he's tried to speed up a little bit, and they've been short. And boy, when you catch that short one on the run, you can really hit that seam.
And that's exactly what happened that time. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Sam Harrell hammers another one inside the 10-yard line. On the return for the Bulldogs is actually, let's see, trying to tough that. That's actually going to be number 6 for the Bulldogs. That's Calvin DeLon. And DeLon is going to make it, well, they'll pick up 13 on the return. But boy, stingy out of this Eagle special teams.
Yeah, nice tackle by Garrett Simmons. We mentioned him on that last drive, but you know, that's the first punt return. You know, Stan mentioned we hadn't seen very many of them this year. That's the first touchdown punt return that we've seen since 2019. So, you know, former player Eli Eckstein had one against Sicily Island, but that's the last time. It's been over 2 years since we've seen a punt return for a touchdown.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Leonard Going to hand this one off. Going to be the first running play of the night, and the Eagles make them pay. Boy, I tell you what, great pursuit that time. And actually went with number 3, Leighton Melanson, and Melanson is going to lose 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 13.
Yeah, several Eagles on the pursuit there. I think that may have been Colin Cork, middle linebacker, junior, that finished him off. Ben Duvall able to get pressure and flush him wide. So, man, you know, this Eagles defense has just gotten better and better each week. I looked today, and I may not be able to finish this whole thought, but on the season, we're averaging less than 9 points allowed a game. So it's a pretty good defense. I got something to add to that in a minute, though.
Second down and 14. Leonard looks to throw out in the flat and does. Boy, he runs into a wall of green. Good gravy. No gain on the play. Made it back to the line. Well, actually, no, Donnie's going to penalize him. Donnie's going to make him lose a yard. So now you're going to be looking at 3rd and 15 as they mark this one off. It's going to be 3rd and 15, and the Bulldogs are going to have the ball at their own, well, let's call it 12-yard line.
Yeah, so 8.7 points a game allowed on the season of the last 7 games, Dave. 5.6 points a game. So this defense has just gotten better as the season has gone along.
Ooh, they are fast to the football. I said the 12. It's actually the 17. 3rd down and 15 at the 17. Leonard's going to go to work out of the shotgun and does. Looks to throw. Puts a lot of air into this one, and it's going to be incomplete. Great coverage that time as number 11 for the Eagles, Zach White. White was running stride. Well, let's just be real. He had a step on White. White does a great job of closing in. Probably the ball a little underthrown, but good coverage that time as Zach's able to get his hand in there and knock it out. So it's going to bring up another 4th down for Ascension Catholic. And they'll have to punt this football from deep in their territory as they spot it at the Bulldog 17.
Yeah, that was good coverage by Zach because he actually has to swap who he's guarding depending on the route that they run. So, you know, he recognized it and played catch up and able to get his hand in and break that pass up.
4th down, 15. This is going to be the best punt that they've had all night. Culp's going to run under this one. He's going to make a man miss at the 45. Going to get into Bulldog territory where he's going to be wrapped up. But I'm going to tip my hat to the Eagles special teams tonight. Thomas Culp has reeled in a couple. Tristan Wiley's reeled in a couple and ran for a touchdown on one of them. But boy, I tell you what, they're stingy with the field position this evening as they're doing a great job. 4 yards on the return. It's going to bring up 1st down and 10 for the Eagles at the Bulldog 49.
Yeah, definitely a point of emphasis this week for our special teams. Preserve the yards that we're able to by fielding those punts.
Doing a great job of catching the ball as well. 1st down and 10. Graves is going to go to work. They go with Strickland. Strickland gets across the 45, still on his feet, across the 40-yard line. A nice run that time out of the senior running back. Had a fumble early in tonight's game. And, boy, I tell you, Daniel, they've just gone right back to him, and that's going to be enough for a community pharmacy 1st down, a gain of 11 yards. No confidence lost in the senior running back.
No, I think Chad's a junior, though.
A junior?
I think so. I think we get another year of him.
Well,
and, you know, he just kept his legs turning there, so, you know, he's able to pick up yards, run through arm tackles.
I stand corrected. The junior running back. And now we're going to get a dose of the junior quarterback as he's going to move the pile. Picks up nice yardage, a gain of 6 yards on the play. And it's going to set up 2nd down and 4 for the Eagles. Yeah. 2nd down and 4 at the Bulldog 32-yard line.
Yeah, good run right there. Get us in striking distance here. Starting to inch towards the red zone. Plenty of time to work with.
9 minutes and 16 seconds left to play in the 2nd quarter. Ouachita Christian 14, Ascension Catholic 0. Graves gets a good snap again on the ground with Strickland. Strickland gets to the edge this time, and boy, he delivers a blow. Not a whole lot of size and weight to Chad Strickland, but he just hit that defensive back with everything he had. Picks up 6 yards on the play, more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down as they move the chains. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles at the Ascension Catholic 26-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Chad was wanting to run off tackle there, but forced to kick it outside, and then it was a foot race. And, you know, I imagine there's not many foot races that Chad Strickland turns down. 1st
down and 10. Graves in the shotgun. 2 running backs with him in the gun. Turns, hands again to Strickland. Strickland again moves into the interior of the Bulldog defense. They stack him up, but he'll pick up 2 yards on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 8. They spot this football at the Bulldog 24-yard line.
Yeah, we had a pretty good point of view on that one, Dave. Didn't look like there was much there for Chad to choose from. So
because there wasn't.
Yeah, he just ran into a wall.
8 minutes and 16 seconds left to play here in the first half. Ouachita Christian 14, Ascension Catholic 0. Landon Graves brings the Eagles to the line. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Good snap from center, turns. Going to hand this one to Strickland again. It is going to be tough sledding inside. Strickland going to lose a yard on the play. Tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. You're going to bring up 3rd down and 8. And Daniel, I tell you what, man, the first quarter of this thing flew by. Now the second quarter flying by. We're almost done with the first half of play here at Fitzhugh Field.
There's only been a handful of incomplete passes. A lot of the passes that the Bulldogs have thrown have been sideline, to the side, and so they get tackled, and so the clock's been pretty steady. Not a lot of penalties either.
3rd down and 9. Eagles have the ball at the Bulldog 25-yard line. Graves in the shotgun. Plenty of time. Looks to throw. Got a man down. Field and just off the outstretched arms of Tristan Wiley. Wiley was trying to run that one down, and well, I tell you what, that's one of the few balls I've seen Landon throw so far this season that was just a little too far out in front of somebody.
Just a hair. I mean, I think it hit his hands on the way out, and Tristan, he didn't pull up, he didn't slow down. That was all effort right there, and he almost came up with it. So, well, but he was open. He was wide open.
It's 4th down for the Eagles. 4th and 9. They're going to go for it with the ball at the Bulldog 25.
They are pressing our receivers right here.
Landon Graves lines up in the shotgun. Strickland joins him in the gun. Good snap from center. Graves looks to throw. Now he feels a little pressure. Now he's on the run. Now he sets his feet. Lets this one go. Throws it up for Wiley. It's going to be incomplete. Landon trying to create something there. Did a great job of buying a little extra time, but well, I tell you, when a play breaks down like that, hard to find a receiver still on his original route. I think Wiley was just trying to say, hey, I got position, throw it up here.
Let me jump.
Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys in the Marion State Bank sideline report. How's it going, Stan?
Good, guys. I think right there, I would have loved to seen Landon just run with that one. Once he got outside that pocket to the short side of the field, he just kind of waited to see if he can get somebody to come open, but boy, we only needed like 8 or 9. I think he could have got it easily.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Bulldogs take over on downs.
Not happening.
And the second running play of the night, not all that beneficial, as it's going to be number 1, Casey Mays. Mays, well, it looked like he got back to the line of scrimmage, but Donnie says no. He loses a yard, so it's going to be 2nd down and 11 as they spot this football now at the Bulldog 24.
Yeah, Casey Cobb slanting across the offensive line there and able to wrap him up for the tackle. And I'm with Stan. Either run the ball, but what you don't want to see Landon do is throw it back across the field. That was I know you had Tristan there, but we saw him throw an interception the very same way last week.
2nd down and 11 for the Bulldogs. They look to throw this one, and they do. It's going to be complete out in the flat. They've got a receiver that time with the catch. That's number 11, Lex Melanson. And Melanson is going to pick up good yardage, maybe actually enough for a first down. First down, and I'm trying to think if they had a first down in tonight's game, and Donnie's going to tell me no, that's the first one. They pick up 11, and it's going to be enough for the first down. First down and 10 for Ascension Catholic, ball at their own 35-yard line. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in the first half. Leonard looks to throw and does. That one's going to be complete to number 13. That's Brooks Leonard. And Leonard's going to do a nice job on the catch that time. As he gets upfield for the gain of 17 yards. And that's enough for another first down for Ascension Catholic. They spot this football in Eagle territory at the Eagle 45.
Yeah, consecutive first downs there by the Bulldogs on short passes. The receivers have been able to get outside and run down the sideline until they just run out of room. But both times enough for both plays enough for a first down.
First down at 10 at the Eagle 45. Leonard again throws this one out into the flat. And again, he's going to have a receiver pick up the first down? It does. Actually, number 6 on the reception that time. That's Calvin DeLong. DeLong's going to pick up 11 yards on the play. 3 first down plays in a row for the Bulldogs. Now moving in deeper into Eagle territory. They'll spot this at the Eagle 34-yard line. 6 minutes left to play in the first half. First down and 10.
Another bubble screen that last play was.
3 receivers split wide to the left, 1 to the right. Leonard in the shotgun. Good snap. Looks to throw.
There it
does.
is.
Again, another bubble screen. And again, it's blocked well on the perimeter by the Bulldogs. One of the Eagles tried to jump to throw that time. Unfortunately, unable to get there in time. A gain of 6 yards. And that's going to put the Bulldogs, it's going to bring up second down and 3. They'll put it at the Eagle 27-yard line.
Outside linebacker Maddox King almost sniffed that one out, but they had a blocker assigned to him. And what these bubble screens do is it gets you in a one-on-one matchup where you force somebody to make an open field tackle. And Coach Fitchie told me this week, like, that's the goal this week, open field tackles.
Quick throw over the middle is going to be complete. That's going to be enough for another Bulldog first down. As Leonard that time finds number 13 again. Brooks, well, Bryce and Brooks, I guess you're right, Daniel. They both look a lot alike. Maybe they are twins.
Yeah, well, I know they're brothers, and unless one of them was a holdback or something, then they would likely be twins. But a pretty good chemistry there between those two, I would imagine.
Absolutely, a well-thrown football and a nice catch by his brother, as it's going to be first down and 10 at the Eagle 15. Leonard this time looks to run it himself, and he finds a small crease through there in the Eagle defense, and he's going to get it down to the 5-yard, well, let's call it the 6. Or actually the 11, that's right. So a gain of 5 is going to put it at the 11. So second down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Inside the Eagle red zone. Second down and 5 at the 11. Leonard, a good snap. Fakes it. Oh, boy, I tell you. Eagle defense collapsed on him that time. Going to be a loss of 1 on the play. They were not fooled by the play action fake there, and collapsed the pocket on top of Leonard. He's going to lose a yard. So now you're going to be looking at third down and 6.
Zach White, James David Miller, and Noah Lovelady just took away all the options on the run there, and able to bring him down in the backfield. You know, you shrink the field to a team with a team that tries to create space. You limit their space. I mean, the Eagles may force a turnover here.
Third and 6. Leonard's going to run it himself. Boy, he's going to get hit at the 5-yard line.
He got a first.
Going to be sure. I can't tell. No, should have enough.
Yeah.
Well, let's see where they spot this one. It is. It's going to be enough for the first down. It's going to be first and goal. Needed 6, got 6. So it's going to be first and goal for the Bulldogs at the Eagle. Looks like the 6-yard line. First and goal.
I saw Landon roll in for a play, to get that additional defensive back in there. Landon, this is he's a junior, and as a freshman, he played a cornerback and safety for the Eagles. So.
First and goal for the Bulldogs at the 6. They try to keep this one on the ground, and the Eagles will have none of it. Number 1, Casey Mays, the ball carrier. Made it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Second goal at the 6. You know, you had talked a moment ago, Daniel, about a turnover. Man, I'd be just happy with a stand.
Yeah, a stand would be great. You know, I watched their kicker before the game, and he's a PAT guy. He didn't have a lot of range outside of the 20-yard line. I don't know if they would down 14-0. I don't know if they would try to kick it or go for it on 4th if he holds it.
Boy, the Eagle defense sniffs this one out. Great job that time by Ben DeVal. DeVal gets into the backfield, doesn't make the sack, Daniel, but he does, mix it up enough to where the rest of the Eagle defense is able to converge. But a nice job of Duval getting back there to slow things down.
Yeah, the Bulldog offensive line, they're not able to hold their blocks. forever. So if we can get Bryce Leonard trying to move side to side to evade one tackle, the pursuit's going to increase as the longer he does that. So this Eagles defensive line and linebackers, they're putting pressure on this Bulldog offensive line here.
Loss of 1 yard on the play. 3rd and goal at the 7. Leonard feels some immediate pressure, and the Eagle defense is going to collapse. A really well-designed screen that time as the Eagles had the middle of the field wide open, but the secondary doing a nice job to converge. Now you're looking at 4th down. Gain of 5 on the play. They'll spot it 4th and goal at the 2.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. They have not had a lot of success running the ball. They've been able to throw the ball in short passes, but not a lot of space, being so close to the goal line to work with.
Remember a little while ago when I told you there was 6 minutes left to play? Yep. There's 49 seconds left to play.
Quickly.
And I have no idea why, but maybe, they're going to let the play clock run down to 1. And they'll take a timeout. Yeah. We'll take a quick, I'll tell you what, we can get back to a timeout. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys in the Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, how we doing down there?
Well, guys, we're trying to hold them out of here. Got the ball on about the 2.5-yard line, 4th down. They're running a lot of just screens and quicks out of the hand of the quarterback, trying to get it out in space and hopefully miss tackles. But they've done a good job to move the ball down the field by doing that right now. We just need to make one more play here with 43 seconds left.
One more play. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. The Bulldogs have done a nice job on this drive. Exactly what Stan said. Daniel nickel and diming us to death, but they find themselves right now with an opportunity, the best one they've had so far tonight, to try to put some points on the board in the first half. We come back out of this timeout. It's going to be 4th and goal at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, what do you think they're going to do here, Dave? You think they're going to throw the ball, or are they going to try to run it in with the quarterback?
No, I think they're going to throw the football, and I think they're probably going to look to make a quick throw out in the flat and let one guy miss and go in for the touchdown.
I think so, but yeah, I agree. But you can't really cover. I mean, they're going to be pressed up just because of the down and distance or the field position, really.
Well, here we go. We're fixing to find out, aren't we? 4th down and goal at the 2. Leonard, shotgun, looks to roll, feeling some pressure, unloads, and
incomplete.
It's going to be incomplete. I got to tell you, it looked like he had a man over there, but that's going to be incomplete, and that's going to bring it into this drive. The Ouachita Christian Eagle defense stands.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to force it in there, and it looked like the receiver may have got his hands on it for a second, bobbled it, and several Eagles try to bring him down.
All right, so what do we do here?
Oh, we run the ball.
We're going to run the ball.
Yeah, we're going to run the ball.
All right.
And if Chad breaks one off, then we call a timeout. Which that would be cool to see.
1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Phenomenal goal line stand by the Eagle defense. 1st and 10 at the 2.
Oh, I don't know. Watch Barn White leak out of the backfield here. Oh, we'll take 5.
Oh, I'll tell you what. They're going to get a little breathing room. Steady.
Yep.
Steady in the saddle. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and that's going to bring up, it's going to be 1st down now at 5 as they'll move this one out to the 7-yard line. 36 seconds left to play here in the 2nd quarter. I want to thank the fine folks at D&H Sporting Goods, tonight's 2nd quarter sponsor. 2 locations in Bastrop and Sterlington to serve you. Always thank the fine folks at D&H for their continued support of Ouachita Christian Eagle Athletics. Landon Graves in the shotgun. Takes a snap, hands this one off. Strickland's got a soft spot in the defense. He's going to go across the 10. Gain of, let's give him 5, maybe 4 yards. Going to be just shy of the 1st down marker. Boy, you could give him 5 because that's about what he got, but he's inches shy. But it's not really going to matter because I think that is going to be the final play. Although Landon Graves is drifting over under center. 10 seconds left.
We might try to get one more here.
And I think they're going to try to snap this football, and they do. Landon's going to look to throw. Sets his feet. Puts some air into this one. Got a receiver. That's Wiley, and it's almost intercepted, but I don't really think that was the point. The Eagles are going to take a 14-0 lead into the locker room here at halftime. Ouachita Christian 14, Catholic 0. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphries as the Eagles head into half with the Marion State Bank sideline report. What kind of grade do you give the first half, Stan?
Hey, guys, let me get right back to you just a second, all right? Go ahead and take it back.
All righty. Thanks a lot. Well, let's see, I was kind of curious to see what Stan had to think. I asked Stan, now I'm going to ask you, what kind of grade do you give the Eagles?
I'll give us it was a pretty good half. I mean, you're shutting out a team in the second round of the playoffs at home. You got a 14-0 lead, and kind of the trend that we've seen from this Eagle team is kind of first half, we would just really kind of feel it out, get a sense of the game. And if you can do that and have a 2-score lead, and second half you come out, you make adjustments, and that's what we've seen success after halftime all season long. So, hey, man, that's a good grade. I'll give us a good grade.
All right, well, you still hadn't given me a grade.
Oh, man, I'll give us an A, not A+.
You're going A?
I'm going A-. I'll go A.
A.
Yeah.
That's a solid grade.
I mean, they hadn't scored.
Absolutely. Okay, you know what? I'm not sure. We got to go back down and check in with Stan now. He's ready to go now. Stan,
well,
all right.
Guys, out of all the times that I've played quarterback, I've been signaled a lot of plays in my life. And, I've been kind of sitting here watching the other sideline, watching signals and trying to pick up different plays, just like you do in baseball when you try to pick up the signals for the pitcher or whatever. And I felt like I caught one there a minute ago, and I was trying to relay it, but I told him, I said, you got to see it again before you can, maybe it'll help us somewhere down the line.
So you got a good feel about it, right, Stan? It's just not, it's not confirmed.
No, it's not
right?
locked in totally, but it's a good feel. But, hey, you play the game, and if it happens again, then you kind of just adjust.
Absolutely. All right, well, listen. It took a little while, but Daniel finally gave me a grade for the Eagles in the first half. You got to give them a grade. What are you going to give them?
Well, here's what I would say, guys, and I'm going to be a tough grader. I mean, I give them a B+, but I do one thing that I think that we've got to understand is and y'all talked about it all night. I mean, you're talking about a football team that maybe ran the ball 4 times the first half. Okay, so throwing the football, that we talked about it all year. We haven't seen those guys that have tried to throw the ball against us downfield that we always wanted to see. Now, I give our guys credit on the defensive side of the ball. I give them an A, and the reason I give them that is because no big plays. They can throw those little screens, a yard or 2 behind the backfield, and then they get 10 yards off of it sometimes, but then you get down here and you hold up and you hold them and you turn it around and give it back to your offense. And I think that's been the big thing tonight is no big plays against our defense, and just besides that one turnover early in the game, and it wasn't so much a hit, it was like somebody's foot kicked the ball out of his arm.
All right, Stan. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much, Stan. I got to tell you, he's down there doing yeoman's work tonight, brother, because it's cold outside.
Yeah. It looks rather dapper in his pea coat down there, though. I like it.
Well, we're going to take a break from here at Eagle Stadium, just being entertained by the Ouachita Christian Eagle cheerleaders. And we'll take a quick break. As a matter of fact, when we come back, we'll give you the stats from the first half of play and then invite everybody to tune in to tonight's scoreboard show. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf.
ended up being a pretty even half. 25 plays for the Bulldogs, 24 plays for the Eagles. Total offense for Ascension Catholic, 84 yards. Ouachita Christian, 114 yards. Time of possession, the Bulldogs had the ball for 13 and a half minutes. Eagles had it for just under 10 minutes. So they actually ran the ball 10 times, but only picked up 9 yards. Several of those were the quarterback and Bryce Leonard. The Eagles, though, have ran the ball 19 times for 72 yards, so under 4 yards a carry, but still committed to running the football and trying to move the chains down the field. Bryce Leonard was 10 of 15 passing for 75 yards. Landon Graves was 2 of 5 for 42 yards. The one turnover that we had, that's why I gave us an A instead of A+, by the way. A turnover, that's something that we had to clean up. We had that one. Ascension Catholic has not turned the ball over. We had 7 first downs. They had 5. And then the penalties, the other key for us is we had 1 penalty for 5 yards at half. Ascension Catholic, 2 penalties for 10 yards. This is probably the stat that stands out to me the most. Ascension Catholic is 1 for 8 on third down conversions. So the Eagles, standing big to try to get the ball back.
1 for 8 on third down. Never a number you're looking for.
No, and that's the difference in the score right there. I mean, they were able to move the ball those last 2 drives and then stalled out on one, and then the big goal line stand that the Eagles had to finish out the first half. And so that's why it wasn't an A-, it was an A. That was my grade, because we made that big stand and pitching a shutout so far. So, but the Eagles really conservative in their play call in the first half. And hey,
if you get out of here with the win and you don't have to show Calvary Baptist everything you got up your sleeve, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And I mean, by the way, you and Stan too. I mean, Stan was kind of. He said he was going to be a tough grader. He still gave him a B+.
He did.
Not far from your A.
Yeah. A couple things that I think they can clean up, but man, it's about one thing right now. It's about prolonging your season by winning a game. That's it. Like, these stats that I just read, who cares? Like, it's win or go home, and so that's what they're at.
So there is one stat that's really important right now, though, right?
Yeah, 14-0.
That's exactly right. Points.
Yeah.
And the Eagles they're definitely winning that battle, as they do lead the Bulldogs 14-0.
Hey, I'll give a quick update on the Calvary Baptist game.
Yeah,
Sacred Heart. Calvary Baptist is up 35-0 in the second quarter against Sacred Heart, so jumped out to a big lead. We'll keep an eye on that and let you know if there's anything drastic that changes. So.
All right. Well, we want to invite everybody to come back and join us for the second half of play. Right now, we're going to go back to the studio with John Runyon, and John's going to let you catch up on some of the scores from all over the area on the scoreboard show. Ouachita Christian leading this one here at Eagle Stadium, 14-0. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. Hey, what do you think about 6 minutes, 7 minutes? Okay. All right. out onto the field from halftime here at Fitzhugh Field as the Eagles are hosting the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs in tonight's Louisiana High School Athletic Association Division IV quarterfinal contest. As the Eagles, the Eagles, I would say, Daniel, we had a turnover here, some, a few mistakes here and there, but overall, the Eagles take a 14-0 lead into the locker room over the Bulldogs. And, well, again, Coach Fitzhugh with an excellent call as he decides to defer, and the Eagles are going to get the ball to start the second half with an opportunity to potentially go up by 3 touchdowns. And I can tell you right now, boy, 3 touchdowns over this Ascension Catholic team is going to be the kind of lead that you'd like to see, maybe to ride this thing out to the end.
Yeah, no question. This is the way it was scripted. I mean, this is what you want if you're the Eagles. Hey, let's go into the half with the lead, and it's basically a shutout lead. You got pushed around a little bit on one drive when they just threw the short passes, and of course, they didn't finish that drive off, but now you get the ball back, and watch for the Eagles to look for a big play right here.
Number 11, Lex Melanson, is going to handle the kicking chores for the Bulldogs. The Eagles are going to send Tristan Wiley deep. Wiley already tonight with a punt return for a touchdown.
We're on the wrong side of the field.
Well, it happens.
Yeah.
A little mix-up there. I'm sure we probably went where we were instructed to originally, but now we're gonna swap things up a little bit, and that's okay.
It is. Now the flags on the uprights are still pretty still, so inconsequential, you would think, unless it picks up like it did last week. The wind picked up at halftime, our second quarter actually last week, pretty significantly.
Well, the Eagles are now going to be receiving on the left-hand side of your radio dial. They're going to be traveling from left to right on your radio dial once they get this football. Again, Lex Melanson is going to handle the kicking chores and does. This could be a short kick. Strickland is going to let this one bounce. Wiley will scoop it up at the 20. Boy, good job that time with the coverage, and I think it was just a perfect kick right there between return men. But Wiley picks it up. He makes something out of it, picks up 5 yards on the play. Looks like they'll spot this football. Let's call it the Eagle 26-yard line.
Yeah, decent field position. Like you mentioned, well-placed kickoff in between Chad Strickland and Tristan Wiley. Chad took a step back and then looked like he was going to catch it. Then he stepped out of the way and it bounced right to Tristan. So no harm.
Ouachita Christian starts the drive at the 26. Landon Graves calls for the football. They go with Strickland. Strickland's across the 30, now the 35, the 40, now he's across the 50. Now he's into Bulldog territory at the 40 before he's run out of bounds. It looks like they'll spot this football at the Bulldog 33-yard line, and Chad Strickland comes out in a big way. Gain of 40 yards on the play and more than enough for a community pharmacy first down. Eagles waste no time. Graves in the shotgun, and we're waiting on the change.
And the Eagles hurrying up to the line after that big play by Chad.
Graves is going to keep this one himself. He follows Strickland through the hole with a nice run that time. And a nice pickup on the play. Gain of 7 yards is going to bring up 2nd down and 3. They spot this football at the Bulldog 26-yard line. Only the second play of the drive. Probably one of the best runs Chad Strickland's had in a while, Daniel.
Yeah.
Really turned the corner and got upfield in a hurry.
Yeah, nothing tricky about it, just a run, and he just found a hole and followed it.
Landon follows it up with a gain of 7, 2nd and 3 at the Bulldog 26. Graves looks to throw. He's got plenty of time. Puts air into this one. Tristan Wiley, touchdown, Ouachita Christian. Tough to cover that young man. Tristan Wiley is going to take it in from 27 yards out, 26 yards out officially, and the Eagles are going to pick up a touchdown.
Yeah,
2 running plays and a pass.
Yeah, nice route by Tristan, just a post. Got on the inside of the defender and just outran him for the touchdown. Great play.
10 minutes and 54 seconds left. The Eagles put another touchdown on the board. That touchdown and all Eagle touchdowns brought to you by the fine folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct. Extra point attempt is good. If you need a diamond, think Trinity Diamonds Direct. Visit their store located on Blanchard Street in West Monroe. The Ouachita Christian Eagles take a 21-0 lead over Ascension Catholic. Sam Harrell with another extra point that's good. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys and a Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, that's the way you want to start the half, isn't it?
Yeah, you come out that second half right there. Great run, great blocking up front, and the receivers on the outside on Chad Strickland's long run. You don't get the long runs, guys, unless the receivers are on the outside or blocking like that. And then just a maximum protection, great protection there by the O-line. Even the running back stepping up and picking up a linebacker and just hitting the post over top to Tristan for a touchdown.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Sam Harrell, the kick, has done a phenomenal job kicking the football so far tonight. And again, he is going to kick this one inside the 5-yard line. Going to be fielded cleanly that time by the Bulldogs. And this time, number 6 is going to find a seam. That's actually Calvin DeLone. And DeLone, well, you would say committed the cardinal sin of special teams and running east and west, but was able to get to the edge. Actually, Sam had pinned him down inside the 10, but it's a gain of 21 yards on the return, so it's going to be first down and 10 for Ascension Catholic at their own 24-yard line.
Well, the Bulldogs did a good job blocking there to allow him to gain positive yards, even though he did kind of run east to west. So good return for the Bulldogs. The Eagles defense with the test start off on their first possession.
Bryce Leonard in the shotgun, going to throw this one out in the flat quickly. Boy, the Eagles do a nice job of hemming that one up. Looked like the ball came out, but they're going to rule him down. And it is going to be a gain of 5 yards on the play.
That's a surprising 5 yards, I think, Dave, because it looked like we had it covered and swallowed up pretty quickly there, but able to slip away and pick up positive yards.
Gain of 5 brings up second down and 5 for Ascension Catholic. Ball at their own 29-yard line. 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Ouachita Christian 21, Ascension Catholic 0. They look to throw this one, and it's a tunnel screen. It's going to be caught, and there's going to be some yardage to be had. He finds number 5, Landon Sabansky. And Sabansky is going to take this one up the far side, up the near sideline. Gain of 21 yards on the play, but now we got a penalty marker.
It looks like it's going to be a personal foul and questionable. James David Miller brought him down just right when he stepped out of bounds. You know, sometimes I'm pretty fair. I thought that was a pretty clean play, a pretty good play by the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs. The receiver actually slipped and was able to get back on his tunnel and get the ball and get downfield.
Well, the penalty, they're going to add 15 to it. So now this is going to put them first down and 10 at the Eagle 35-yard line. Nice play that time as Leonard actually found Zabinski out in the flat. The Eagles get hit with a personal foul call, late hit out of bounds, cost them 15. First and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Eagle 35. Leonard with a good snap. Feeling some pressure, he unloads this one late, and that's going to be complete on the far side of the field. And the Eagles very fortunate that they were able to get a hand on the receiver on the far side, as Leonard, boy, felt some pressure that time, able to unload it late, just got it off to his receiver, who turned it into a 15-yard gain. So now the Bulldogs with the ball, first and 10 at the Eagle 20-yard line.
You know, good coverage downfield by the Eagles. Leonard was looking downfield, nothing there. And like you mentioned, pressure, and he just checks down and flips the ball out to the shallow receiver, who's able to turn it into something.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Eagle 20. Leonard gets a good snap, feeling some pressure this time. He's going to have to run to unload this one, and does, and it's going to be incomplete. Looked like he was just trying to unload that one as he was feeling the pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there. Casey Cobb getting in the backfield, flushing Bryce Leonard out to his right, and he just kind of throws it out to the corner of the end zone, just outside of reach of anybody. No harm done for them, but good pressure by the Eagles' defensive line.
Second down and 10 for Ascension Catholic, ball at the Eagle 20-yard line. 9 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Ouachita Christian 21. Ascension Catholic 0. Leonard's waiting for the play call from the sideline and gets it. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Turns, fakes this one inside, trying to find some running room, and he is not going to do it. A convocation of Eagles that time. Bring down Leonard on the play. No gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, good tackle there. It looked like Colin Cork, middle linebacker, was the first one to put his hands on Bryce Leonard and able to bring him down for no gain. So good situation for the Eagles, 3rd and long here on defense.
Ball at the Eagle 20. Big play for the Bulldogs on this drive.
Not a great situation there on the verge of the red zone.
Leonard, good snap, sets up the screen. He's got a man underneath, but so do the Eagles, and they're going to swarm, smother, and drop him. Gain of 1 yard on the play. Now you're looking at 4th and 9 as they'll spot this at the Eagle 19-yard line. The Bulldogs just inside the Eagle red zone at the 19. 4th and 9.
Senior strong safety Garrett Simmons, I believe, is who had the tackle there. Good recognition again on the screen by the Eagles. That's a play that has not developed for the Bulldogs as of yet, which is a good thing, because when those do develop, they can be big-time plays.
If it looks like you're starting quarterbacks playing safety, it's because he is. 4th and 9. They're going to put some air into this one. Got a receiver down there. It's incomplete. Nice job on the coverage that time. Thomas Culp was back there along with a couple of other Eagles. Pass slightly overthrown, and it's going to be turned over on downs as the Eagles now with the football. 1st down and 10 at their own 19.
Great coverage. Colt got his hands on that ball. The ball just hung in the air way too long. By that time, Landon, who you mentioned, was playing safety. He had already made his way over there, and he was there to challenge the ball too.
1st down and 10 for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Graves is going to call his own number, and he is slippery. He's going to make one Bulldog defender miss. I think he's going to lose his hand warmer in the process.
He's busy tonight. He's playing both sides of the ball a little bit. He's probably not going to use it very much. Able to shake off a tackler at the line of scrimmage and pick up positive yards. Good run by Landon.
2nd down, 6. Ball at the Eagle 23. Graves in the shotgun. 2 running backs join him in the gun. 2 receivers wide to his right. Now he's got a play action pass, and he's got a receiver down there. It's Wiley. Wiley's going to haul it in at midfield. That's a great pass and a great catch in traffic. 2 guys that have figured out how to get this thing done together. Gain of 31 yards on the play, and that's more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down.
Yeah, really nice catch there by Tristan. Good concentration. His touchdown catch in the first half. Oh, I'm sorry, in the second half was his 22nd on the season also.
1st down and 10 for the Eagles. The Bulldog 46. They go with Strickland.
Oh, nice
patient
block.
Run that time. Set his blocks up. Now he's going to come back inside, make another man miss before he's upended, but we got a penalty marker on the play, and it's typically where you're going to see a hold, and that's exactly what we're going to have. A nice run that time. Boy, really patient run that time, Daniel, by Chad, as he allowed exactly what Stan described earlier. He let the receivers get their blocks, and unfortunately that time somebody must have grabbed some jersey, but the officials are going to mark it off. And, a good thing about the holding penalty that time takes place downfield rather than in the backfield. So, yeah, a 10-yard penalty from the spot, but it's only going to be overall probably about maybe a 3 to 4 yard penalty. So it's going to bring up 1st down and let's call it 13.
Yeah, I think that was James David Miller. One of the linemen just had a huge block on that play. That wasn't the holding call. I think the holding call was on the outside, but good blocking.
3 receivers to Landon's left, 1 to his right. Good snap from center. He looks to throw, sets up the screen, and that one's going to be complete to number 10, Barham White. Barham is going to make a couple of defenders miss, break a tackle, and, well, boy, just shy of moving the chain. Looks like they'll spot this ball at about the 42-yard line. Going to be a real nice. He got it. Yep. He got enough. 14, needed 14, and he got 14.
Well, I know the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs were not ready for that play. Do you know why? Because that's the first time we've seen that all year. We've seen that was a nice play call by offensive coordinator Drew Vadrine for a screen to the H-back.
Needed 14, gain of 14. Community Pharmacy, first down and 10 for the Eagles. Graves looks to throw and does. Unloads this one. It's going to be a low pass, but it's going to be caught. Boy, I tell you, Culp had to go way downstairs to get that one.
That was a tough catch right there. Landon rolling to his left, throwing across his body a little bit there, but Culp helping him out by going down and getting that ball.
Gain of 5 yards on the play. Second down and 5 for the Eagles. Ball at the Bulldog, 28-yard line. Landon Graves in the shotgun. 2 running backs join him in the gun. 2 receivers split wide to the right. And that looks like we're going to have a little movement call. I'm not sure where it came from, but they are going to throw the flag.
It looked like somebody might have flinched. We tried to do kind of a hard count, and on the set, it looked like somebody just, I couldn't tell who it was either, but I think somebody just flinched a little bit.
It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It's going to back the Eagles up. So the Culp reception is going to be negated, as now we're looking at 2nd and 10. Landon Graves in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. 2 running backs with him in the backfield. Turns, gives this one to Strickland. Strickland with a nice patient run, going to move the pile. And folks, I'm telling you, if you've never seen Chad Strickland in person, I mean, this is a guy that is, I would say, Daniel, kind of slight in stature as far as size, but man, he disappears into the pile, and the pile just keeps him moving. And you just, Chad's got to be a very, very strong young man. As again, they go with Strickland. Now he sets the edge, makes one man miss, bursts through a tackle, going to get inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone. Another nice run by Chad Strickland. And that's enough for a Community Pharmacy first down and a gain of 8 yards. And it sets up shop, first down and 10. They spot it, well, not in the Randall's Fine Meat red zone, but at the Randall's Fine Meat red zone at the 20-yard line. Graves in the shotgun with an eye backfield beside him. Good snap from center. Again, they go to Strickland, and again, he gets a great block out in front of him. Going to go inside the 15 and inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone. Gain of 6 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 as they spot this football right at the Bulldog 15-yard line, and Ascension Catholic is going to take a timeout. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys of the Marion State Bank sideline report. How we doing down there, Stan?
Well, the guys up front are doing a great job, but I think the real thing that this coaching staff had a plan, looks like this week, of maybe getting to the edge a little bit more than we have in the past this season a little bit. And I tell you that Chad Strickland's done a great job of just continuing that process. Even though it doesn't look like it's there, just continue running that outside lane, and then all of a sudden when you have to at that last point, make a cut and go north and south and get that 5 or 6 yards or whatever. But and now all of a sudden maybe the opening will start coming a little more up in the middle if they start overplaying that outside.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. It's nice to know that Stan kind of sees a lot of the things we see from up here as well, right down there on the field. As we've talked about the patient runs that we've seen out of Chad so far tonight. You talked about it earlier. You said eventually you're going to start seeing him, make that one cut and hit it up in there, and that's exactly what we've seen these last few runs.
Well, James David Miller and Avery Pilgrim, our 2 guards, are getting upfield and just allowing Chad to rely on that patience, that the hole is going to develop. So they're doing a great job of blocking. Stan mentioned that.
Landon Graves is going to take a shotgun snap. He's got a seam. Touchdown, Washington Bridge. Speaking of patient runners, that time Landon allowing his blocks to take place in front of him. Finds a seam and slithers in. A nice, tough run by the junior quarterback as Landon Graves is going to add to this Eagle lead now 27-10. 0 4 minutes and 16 seconds left to play as the Eagles add another Trinity Diamonds direct touchdown.
I just mentioned Avery Pilgreen, and he blew somebody up on that play, blocking downfield right at the goal line. Oh, great blocking.
Sam Harold adds the extra point attempt, and the Ouachita Christian Eagles take a 28-0 lead over Ascension Catholic. Don't want to call this one early, Daniel, but I got to tell you,
we're in good shape.
The Eagles are playing really good football here in the second half, getting things done, and a nice job that time. Boy, you have to almost credit some of that to the offensive line. And, you know, Stan even mentioned it too, and I appreciate him bringing it up because you and I both saw some of the blocking that was going on downfield by the receivers. Just a lot of good team football being played down there for Ouachita Christian.
Well, that's what it takes to, to play next week. I mean, the teams that are not multidimensional, that don't rely on one another, that don't play team football, I mean, they're just not going to play. And then, the rest of them are a dogfight. Some teams are going to win, some teams are going to lose, but the Eagles look really sharp tonight.
Well, I tell you what, it's fun to watch our offense.
Yeah.
They do a lot of neat things, but I can't help but look at the scoreboard right now with 4 minutes left to play in the third quarter. They still got a 0 on the board.
I love our defense.
This is a nice kick by Sam Harold. Going to pin them back inside the 10-yard line, but a nice return this time set up by the Bulldogs as, let's see, it looked like actually number 1 that time, Casey Mays on the return. Returned with a nice return in this case. They're going to spot this football about the 39-yard line. It looks a gain of 29 yards on the return. It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 39.
Casey Mays with a burst of speed. He was kind of going to the side, and when he found his hole, he stepped on the gas and able to I think that's their best starting field position tonight after a kickoff.
1st down and 10 for Ascension Catholic. They trail Ouachita Christian 28-0 with 4 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Bulldogs set up the screen, and boy, I tell you, it's going to be tough sledding inside. It's number 13, Brooks Leonard.
He picked up a yard somehow.
And Leonard actually able to pick up 2 yards in the process. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Well, slippery running there. I thought he was going to get dropped for a loss of maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 yards, but somehow able to slide through and get past the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 8. Clock running with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Ouachita Christian 28, Ascension Catholic 0. Oh, a high throw that time by Leonard. Unfortunately left number 1 Casey Mays, as they say, hung him out to dry because boy, he had to stretch out to try and get his hands on that one. Took a big lick from one of the Eagle defenders.
Yeah, that was number 41, Maddox King, closing in fast, and when he jumped up to catch that ball, Maddox was there to lay the lick on him. Great play by Maddox.
Pass is incomplete. 3rd down and 8. Ball at the Bulldogs 40-yard line. Leonard gets a good snap. Has some time. Now it happens quickly. Boy, looked like he was setting his feet, and it ends that way. Ben Duvall is going to go back there in the backfield. Looked like a couple of Eagles there, but Ben got there in a hurry. Loss of 8 yards on the play. Going to bring up 4th down and a bundle. And the Bulldogs are going to punt this football.
And we've seen the evolution of Ben Duvall this year.
It gets better every week.
Hey, Eagle fans, get used to that because we got 2 more years of it after this year.
4th down and 16. The Eagles are going to send a couple of men deep. Both of them can take it to the house on you. Tristan Wiley, Thomas Culp. Eagles have done a great job so far tonight on special teams. This is a nice punt.
Returnable.
Culp's going to camp out under it, and he does. Going to make one man miss. Now he's going to try to get upfield. Makes another man miss, but he's going to be run out of bounds. Well, actually going to be dropped on the far side of the field. But again, Eagles getting that ball and moving it upfield. And now you're going to be looking at starting field position somewhere in the neighborhood of the 40-yard line. Actually, they'll spot it at, well, let's see. Looks like the far side of the field is going to set us up at the 39. So 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 39-yard line. Culp with 6 yards on the return.
Man, the Eagles brought the physicality tonight. Even Mason Menville, who rotates in on defense from time to time, plays special teams, putting a big block on a Bulldog on that play.
1st down and 10 for Ouachita Christian. Ball at their own 39. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Landon Graves is looking for some room. He's got a man down there. It's going to be Culp. He had a step on his defender and just a little out in front of him, and it's going to be incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
I think the throw was on time. When Thomas went to make his move to the outside, I think he got tangled up with the safety just a little bit, enough to slow him down a step, and the ball ended up just out of reach. But nice route by Culp there. I want to see that one again tonight at some point.
2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 39-yard line. 2:29 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. OCS 28, Ascension Catholic 0. Graves in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Looks to throw. He's got time. Now he unloads it quick. That's going to be complete over to number 10, Barham White. And White's going to have enough for the 1st down. He's going to get into Bulldog territory. Gain of 12 on the play and more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down.
Isn't it nice to have a player like Barham White? 2 catches tonight, 2 first downs. He just finds a soft spot there, and Landon checks down. Thomas Culp just ran the same route that he just tried, but Landon was flushed out, and so he just dropped it off to Barham for a nice 1st down.
1st down at 10, ball in Bulldog territory at the Ascension Catholic 49. Graves in the shotgun, 2 running backs with him in the gun. Good snap from center. He looks to throw. Got time again, unloads this one quick, and that's going to be Culp again. Thomas Culp does a great job of catching the football in traffic. And again, with a nice traffic catch and a gain of 13 yards, more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down.
Nice route by Culp, just about a 10-yard comeback. He just stops and looks, and nice easy throw by Landon. Good timing play right there.
1st down at 10. Ball at the Bulldog 39. Graves in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Gets this one to Strickland. He's got that wall of blockers and a seam down the sideline. Now he's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Washita Christian! Chad Strickland's going to take it in from 39 yards out as the Eagles add to the lead. Nice job of running the football by Strickland that time. You know what's even better is when you see a guy like that fumble the football on his first carry of the game. They keep feeding him, keep giving him that confidence, and it turns into a great run out of the junior running back, Strickland.
You mentioned the blocking there. Chad just grabbed a hold of the number 10 on Barham White's jersey and just followed him into the end zone.
Harrell on for the extra point attempt. He gets a good snap and a good hold from Tate Hamby. The Eagles are going to add to their lead now, 35-0. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys and our Marion State Bank sideline report. How are you doing down there, Stan?
Well, guys, like we talked about, you keep hitting that alley on the outside. You keep forcing it. You keep forcing it. And again, the reason you get long runs like that is great blocking on the outside. You got Tristan on the outside blocking, Thomas Culp on the outside blocking, Brock Hogan on the outside. You give those guys credit for blocking for Chad as much as we throw the football and they catch it. That's a huge part of a running game is that outside receiver blocking. And I throw you throw Barham White in there also at that other position, getting out inside in front of Chad on those outside runs.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Tonight's 3rd quarter brought to you by Valerie Van Mathern, attorney at law, specializing in estate planning and successions. Call Valerie today, 318-807-9030 to schedule your appointment. I want to thank Valerie Van Mathern, attorney at law, for her continued support of Washita Christian Eagle Athletics. Sam Harrell again is going to kick this one back inside the 10-yard line. And the east and west running continues for the Bulldogs. As, boy, I tell you, it's almost like the same kickoff return.
It is.
Every time. Casey Mays is going to catch it in the far right corner and bring it out almost all the way across the field. And again, he's going to pick up 17 yards. Picked up 19 on the last one, picks out 17 here. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as they'll spot this one at their own 25-yard line to start this drive.
Well, Tristan Wiley's having to make a lot of tackles on special teams on the outside. He's had at least 2 or 3 of those. He's got to be up there in total tackles tonight.
1 minute and 4 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Eagles add a Chad Strickland touchdown onto a 28-0 lead.
Ooh.
A dangerous throw that time by Leonard. Boy, this Eagle defense is nasty right now. Gain of 2 yards on the play, but boy, that's, as they say, 2 yards the hard way. Is the receiver that time takes a big shot, as it was a number 10. It looked like, well, actually it wasn't number 10, number 13. That's his brother, Brooks Leonard. And boy, he takes a big shot inside as the Eagle defense was waiting on him.
So the Eagles got some, Eagles defense got some shirts this week, and that's what they say. You just said it. They mean and they nasty, and that's what the shirts they got this week said.
That's exactly what that was right there. 2nd down and 8. Leonard looks to throw, steps up in the pocket. He's got a receiver, and great coverage that time by the Ouachita Christian Eagles. It's a pretty well-thrown football, but boy, when you throw it right into between 2 guys, they're both able to meet at the football, break up the pass, and now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, it looked like the Eagles may have been, you know, in cover 3 there, because Tristan just dropped back and played a zone, but Garrett Simmons was on coverage there, and that would have been a great catch if he would have pulled that down, but excellent coverage by the Eagles defense.
19 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Ouachita Christian 35, Ascension Catholic 0. 3rd and 8. Leonard gets a good snap. Has some time. He's got a man across the middle, and he's going to be shy of the 1st down.
Oh,
looks like we got a ball that's been taken away, but we got no indication from the officials. Now they're just going to call him down.
Oh, Noah Lovelady with the tackle as soon as he was caught, but Noah Lady brings him down and comes away with the ball.
Well, the officials are going to mark him down, but it's going to bring up 4th down, and that's going to bring it in to the 3rd quarter of play. Hey, you know what? We got good eyes from up here. We can see a lot, right? But you know who can see probably a little bit better?
No, I know.
Stan Humphries on the sideline with the Marion State Bank sideline report. What do you think about it, Stan?
Well, guys, I thought he had the ball. Now, whether the receiver's knee was on the ground when he had the ball, you know, I don't know. It happens so quick. It looked like we had the ball actually when he was going to the ground. But, you know, he makes the call on that point, what he saw. But it was close.
You know, Stan, when I see plays like that, it always goes back to, you know, a bang call like that, and people will say, you know, that swung the game. But, you know, we always like to say, don't let it come down to one call, right?
Yeah.
That one doesn't go your way when you're up 35-0. Well, you can live with it and live to play another day.
Yeah, those are the calls, though, when it's 14-14. That's the calls that get coaches really, really hot and start talking a lot. And, you know, I'd watch out for a little fake here, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphries with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Tell you what, I mean, in all fairness, when you're down 35-0 at your own 30-yard line, who knows?
Well, nothing to lose
now. Good snap from center. They are going to punt this football. Pretty nice effort. Wiley's going to camp out under it. He's going to catch it on the run. Makes one man miss. Now he's got some blocking. Now he's got a seam. Now he's at the 50. Now he's at the 45, the 30, down to the 20, down to the 10, down to the 5. Touchdown, Ouachita Christian! Christian Wiley's going to take it in. On a punt return. An explosive run that time. His 2nd punt return of the night. He's going to cover 66 yards on the return. I got to tell you, it may have been a while since we had 2 punt returns in the same game.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been since that happened, but again, like the downfield blocking, Casey Cobb running right in front of Tristan, 2 guys left to beat, and Casey Cobb just takes care of him for Tristan to get in the end zone with ease.
Sam Harrell's going to add the extra point. That touchdown again brought to you by the fine folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct. For all your diamond needs, visit their store located on Blanchard Street in West Monroe. I want to thank the fine folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphries in the Marion State Bank sideline report.
Well, I know one thing, guys, and you just made the comment, Daniel. It's a perfect comment. How would you like to be a punt returner, returning a punt for a touchdown, and have an offensive tackle out in front of you for 40 yards, leading you downfield, and actually he blocked 2 guys to get him in the end zone.
I tell you what, it's a lot of fun to watch. And, you know, I'll tell you something, Stan. You know, you and I, we've all been watching the same team all year long. we just haven't seen, we haven't seen the punt return set up the way that they have been tonight. I don't remember seeing us really catch more than maybe one punt a game. The rest of them seem to, we either fair caught them or let them roll. These guys are camped out under them and getting them upfield.
Well, maybe that's the reasoning behind it. A lot of times during the season you don't show different plays and you save them, whether screen passes or whatever. We haven't showed that much of punt return this year because we haven't had to. And we've saved it. And I tell you, there's a couple of things, and it goes back to Coach Vadrine, Sonny Vadrine, back in the days of him coaching special teams. I've seen the wall tonight set up a few times. And, boy, if we can get that wall going, that's where they used to get the old KO blocks. And it was unbelievable back in the day to see some of those walls.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report.
He stepped out. Oh, no, he...
Well, a nice job that time by Sam. They pinned the Bulldogs deep, but a pretty brazen return that time by number 1, Casey Mays. Casey Mays has done a really good job, been courageous returning those kicks. Daniel, that's one that was kind of down there in, as they say, the coffin corner. And Mays elects to bring it out down 42-0. I guess really you got nothing to lose on that one, but a nice return as he picks up 10 yards on the play. Unfortunately, it's only going to put the Bulldogs now first down and 10 at their own 15. Leonard out of the shotgun. Play action. Throws a quick one across the middle, and that's going to be caught by his brother. Brooks Leonard. Gain of 10 yards on the play, and that should be enough for a first down.
One-on-one coverage there. Tate Hamby steps up and makes the tackle. I don't know if I'm coming through clear, David, but I do have a question for you.
Okay, come on.
You remember the first game against Cedar Creek, we had some special teams shortcomings. We took a penalty on an extra point after we scored to take the lead. Since then, Delta Charter and all, man, Sam Harrell's been good.
Ooh, Lord. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. The Eagles are going to sack him. Leonard's going to go down. Nice job that time by the defensive line of Ouachita Christian. Leonard had nowhere to go with that one. He's going to get dropped. It's going to be a big loss on the play. Donnie's going to have to get the calculator out for this one. It looks like that was a big loss. I'm going to call it a 10-yard loss, but actually it's going to be 8, so it's going to be second down now and 18 for the Bulldogs. They spot this football at their own 17-yard line. Leonard goes to work. He's going to throw this one out in the flat. That's going to be complete to number 11, Lex Melanson. And Melanson is going to step out of bounds. Well, actually going to be brought down on the far side of the field. Gain of 4 yards. It's going to bring up third down at 14.
On the previous play, Casey Cobb and Ryder Bentley in on the sack there. And, Casey Cobb is 4th all-time in sacks at OCS at 16 before that sack. And, he's a threat anytime he steps on the field on defense, especially when he's in the backfield. And that was a good tackle by Maddox King again there. He's had a good night.
9 minutes and 55 seconds left to play in the football game. Ouachita Christian 42, Ascension Catholic 0.
We've got a powwow happening around the football right now.
Well, I tell you what I want to do. I hate to do it, but I am going to ask you. You've been able to find a score update on the Calvary game lately?
Yeah, Calvary is up 63-0. They were about 4 or 5 minutes ago.
So you sure it's not that you don't have that backwards, do you?
Nope, 63-0 still in the third quarter. I'll refresh to see if Sacred Heart's mounted to come back yet.
All right. Leonard is going to have all kinds of eagles in his face. This one's going up for grabs. And we're going to have a penalty. We're going to have a penalty marker on the play.
That seemed incidental. Tate Hamby was running. The receiver just kind of stopped because Bryce Leonard just heaves the ball up into the air, and Tate incidentally runs into him, and the judge throws the flag.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty tough call. They are going to call us for pass interference on a jump ball at best, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be enough for a first down too. Not automatic in high school, but.
I believe it's a 15-yard penalty. They need 14 for the first. So that should be there. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys in a Marion State Bank sideline report. How you doing down there, Stan?
I'm all right, guys. You know, just kind of one of those deals that got great pressure on the quarterback then. He just threw it up for grabs, and Tate's running away from the line of scrimmage, and the receiver's coming back to the ball. There's a little bit of a touch of a collision, and just able to get a first down.
All righty. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys, the Marion State Bank sideline report. Leonard's going to throw this one out in the flat quick. He does find a receiver out there. That's number 6, Calvin DeLone. And DeLone with a nice second and third effort out of the reception, but he's going to lose 2 yards. It's going to bring up second down and 12 for the Eagles. Ouachita Christian leads this contest 42-0. 9 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the game. One thing I will tell Eagle fans, if we are able to hold on to this 42-0 lead, Calvary Baptist is going to come to Ouachita Christian next week. And I would suggest if you're an Eagle fan, you want to watch that game, I'd get here early.
Yeah, no doubt. There's going to be a crowd here.
Second down and 12. Leonard's going to have this one swatted down. Actually, for the Eagles that time, number 56, Casey Cobb, is going to get credit for the bat down. And it's going to bring up third down and long for the Bulldogs.
So on the previous play, Casey Cobb lays a big lick on the receiver, and then on that play, he bats the ball down after he gets a sack on this drive. I mean, Casey had his Wheaties this morning. He came to play.
Gain. The Bulldogs are going to need to gain 13 yards for a first down. Ball is at their own 36-yard line. Third and 13. Leonard is going to have an empty backfield. 5 receivers, part of the set. Eagles come after him on a rush.
Not happening.
Or they sniff out the screen.
Yeah, guess who got that tackle?
I'm gonna take a wild guess. Is it a weedy eater you like?
It's a weedy eater, number 56, senior Casey Cobb, all over that screen.
Gain of 3 yards on the play. It's gonna set up fourth and let's say 9.5, 10 yards. And the Bulldogs are gonna punt this football. Stan mentioned earlier that we needed to be on the lookout for the fake. I tell you what, boy, this sets up nice for a fake punt.
Yeah, midfield.
Down 42-0, close to midfield. Handling the punting chores for the Bulldogs. Going to be number 5.
You think they're going to give Tristan a chance to return?
Zabiskie. I wouldn't. No, and I'm probably pretty sure, because that's usually what happens when you tell somebody to make sure they do not kick it to number 3. Don't kick it to number 3. Well, that's how you don't kick it to number 3. But unfortunately, it's going to come off the side of his foot. Not much of a punt on that one. Donnie will do the math for us and let us know. The punt's going to cover 17 yards. No return. First down and 10 for Ouachita Christian. Great field position at their own 44-yard line. 7 minutes and 55 seconds left to play in the game. Ouachita Christian 42, Calvary 0.
John Turner, number 35, checking into the game for the first time tonight on offense that I've noticed in the backfield with Landon and Chad.
First down and 10. Ball's ready for play. Landon Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. 2 running backs with him in the backfield. He's going to turn and hand this one to Strickland. Strickland not finding a lot of running room that time. He's going to lose 2 yards on the play, or actually picks up 2 yards on the play. And, yeah, it's going to be second down and 8.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for Chad to run there, but, you know, right now what you want to do, you're concerned about the clock and you're concerned about player health. So you're up 42-0. It's a good spot to be in. Tucker Stutz coming in right now.
Absolutely, the Eagles bringing some of the backup guys in. It's not an all-out sellout to go with the reserves, but you're starting to see some of the guys that you have a feeling are probably going to carry the football.
We might have to take a timeout. Nope.
Graves just get this one off. Goes with Stutz. Stutz has got some running room. He's across the 40, across the 45-yard line. More than enough for a community first down. I think Stutz was just as shocked as we were. There was a huge hole to run through, as he picks up 28 yards on his first carry of the night.
Yeah, once he gets in past the line of scrimmage, there was nothing but open space for about 15 yards. So good run by Tucker.
We mentioned it not being a fire sale on the starters, but I think that's what it's becoming quickly. Is Culp and Wiley are gonna make their way to the sideline as well.
Yeah, Mason Menville, Grayson Smalling in, Patrick Mercado in at receiver, and John Turner in and Tucker Stutz in the backfield with Landon here. Your offensive line seems to be intact with your starters.
First down and 10, ball at the Bulldog 34-yard line. Again, they go right up the middle with Stutz. Stutz, a tough run inside. Going to pick up 1 yard on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 9. Clock continues to run with 6 minutes left to play in the football game. Ouachita Christian 42, Ascension Catholic 0. Setting the stage for what could be a fantastic football game Friday night with the Calvary Baptist Crusaders. Second down and 9 for the Eagles. Landon Graves is going to let this play clock wind down. Inside of 10 seconds now. Second and 9. Ball at the Bulldog 33-yard line. Good snap from center. Turns. Going to hand this one to Stutz. He's going to dance around a couple of would-be defenders. Almost created enough space there to pick up the first down. Needed 7. He picked up 5.
You know, David, you talk about, what a complete game looks like. I mean, you hear about, kind of winning in all 3 phases. That's what you want to do. And tonight, I think, more so than any other game this year, OCS has won in all 3 phases with the punt return touchdowns, the great kickoffs by Sam, the shutout by the defense, and then, the way that we ran the ball tonight. And on top of that, the passes, the touchdown passes to Tristan that
it's been nice. It's been nice to see the Eagles have been able to get it done in all 3 phases. Stutz is going to keep this one on the ground himself. He's going to bounce it outside, and boy, he's going to get upended. That's one of the ones where you stretched it just a little too long. As Stutz is going to pick up 2 yards. He needed 3, so it's going to be 4th down and 1. They put this football at the Bulldog 25-yard line. Clock running. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the game. 4th down and 1.
Luke Turpin checks in at receiver. He's on the far side. John Turner and Tucker Stutz still in the backfield, and Grayson Smalling and Mason Menville on the near side. They're leaving the offensive line in there. They want to pick up this first down and prolong the possession. First down here might ice this football game as we go inside of 4 minutes. Turns, hands this one to Stutz. He's going to have the first down. He needed 1. He got 3. Yep. That first down brought to you by Community Pharmacy. Spot this football at the Bulldog 22-yard line. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the game. Ouachita Christian 42, Ascension Catholic 0. I got a Community Pharmacy hat on tonight. You buy these hats, all proceeds go to the Life Choices organization. Nah. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's a shame we can't get a pet. It's not a bad hat, actually. It looks pretty good. Yeah. I like that. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs, or for the Eagles at the Bulldog 20-yard line. Again, that's Stutz is having. Well, I tell you what, Daniel, you talk about a backup that's come in. He's having a whale of a game right now. Stutz is going to pick up 10 yards on the play, and he's going to take us inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone. They spot this football at the Bulldog 12-yard line. Well, Tucker's picking up yards. He's doing it the hard way, though. He's taking a few shots, but pops right up. I'm ready to run the ball again. First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the Bulldog 12. 3 minutes left to play in the ball game. Be interesting to see these stats on Stutz. He's had a really nice few carries here on this drive. First down, 10 at the 12. Turns. Again, Stutz is going to get the carry. He's going to go inside the 5-yard line. Gain of, it's going to have to be 7. Donnie gives him 8. So it's going to be second down and 2 at the 4-yard line. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the ball game. Yeah, sticking with Stutz on this drive, and I wouldn't expect anything different right here inside the 5-yard line. Eagles are going to let this clock get inside of 2 minutes. This ball game, for all practical purposes, is over, and the Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to have to make accommodations for the Calvary Crusaders to come into Monroe next Friday night.
Graves is going to hand this one to Stutz. They do not want to let him into the end zone. He's going to be short. Going to bring up third down.
Similar play to what we saw earlier. Stutz tries to string it out. Yeah, you want to see him get upfield, but that'll bring up first and goal from where are we at?
It's going to be the 2-yard line. First and goal at the 2. I got to tell you something. Maybe I'm old school, but Stutz has had every carry to get you down here to the 2-yard line. You got to give him the rock at the 2-yard line, don't you?
Yes.
Don't you? You got to let him get it.
He's got 4 tries to pick this one up.
Well, actually, it looks like Coach Fitzhugh's probably going to do something a lot cooler than me and you.
Yep.
He's going to take a knee down here at the 2-yard line. And that is going to bring it into the football game. Ouachita Christian is going to take a knee here. And I would tell you that unless they want to stretch this out, that's going to be the ball game.
I don't believe they intend to do that at all. Now you have your fire sale. You bring in your guys that hadn't had an opportunity to play tonight, and they get to come in for the final plays of the game.
That is going to be it. Let's go down, well, for all practical purposes, let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys in the Marion State Bank. You know, we don't get him now. He vanishes on us like a ghost. Hey, Stan, how's it going down there?
Well, you're lucky you came because I got about 45 seconds. But, it's a great night, guys. Great night. Just, solid football, running game-wise, passing game-wise. Great job by the defense on a throwing team. But it wasn't really a throwing team as much as a screen team. So, our opponent next week's going to throw the football way downfield, but they're also going to throw a lot of those screens with a lot better guys catching it and run with it. But, hey, we move on. There's only 4 teams left after tonight.
Stan, thank you so much. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. The Ouachita Christian Eagles going to win the football game tonight. Ascension Catholic comes up from Donaldsonville. And the Eagles are going to win this one 42-0. Well, I don't think if you follow high school football, let's make it official, though. Daniel, I was thinking that maybe Sacred Heart was going to mount that comeback from down 63-0.
Well, they started it, but didn't get very far. The last update I saw, it was 63-7. That's what it is right now. It's in the fourth quarter. St. Fred's has a pretty big lead on Vermilion Catholic in the fourth quarter. They're up 24-0, so the Warriors turning it on when it counts, man. I did not expect that.
Well, either way, it's going to be. It does. What we're going to do is we're going to have a chance to host the Calvary Crusaders. If you're a fan of Ouachita Christian Eagle football, 2 years ago we played Calvary over in Shreveport in the semis, in what for me was one of the best high school football games I've ever been to. The Eagles able to come away with a victory and go on to win a state championship that year. Last year, the Eagles faced the Crusaders in a state championship down in Natchitoches at Northwestern State University. So it's going to be a heck of a football game next week. Calvary's going to bring a team that's capable of beating us, and you can book it. But I got news for them. I think we can upset the Calvary Crusaders. And really, when you say upset, it's not really an upset. We're the #1 power-rated team and been #1 almost the whole year, according to the sports writers.
Yeah.
But everybody here knows Calvary's going to bring a good football team to Monroe next week, and we're going to have to be ready for them.
No question. Many people around the state expected this matchup at some point. Of course, going into the playoffs before the ratings came out, we thought that they were going to be on the other side, ranked number 2 or 3, but the schedule and power ratings and all that stuff actually put them on the same side as our bracket. But I'll tell you this, David, this is the kind of game that you want to see from the Eagles going into just a matchup, a monster matchup with the Cavaliers next week. We can go ahead and you want to go ahead and do the stats. What do you think?
Absolutely. What you got?
Yeah. So Eagles ran 50 plays. Ascension Catholic ran 45. The Eagles turned it on in the second half, accumulating 386 yards of total offense throughout the game to Ascension Catholic's 135. So it looks like the Bulldogs only had about less than 50 yards in the second half. The Eagles had well over 200. Time of possession was pretty much even. Here's what I like to see.
Okay, let's see it.
38 rushes, 245 yards for the Eagles tonight. Huge night running the ball. controlling the game in all three phases, but that all starts with the running game. Ascension Catholic had 13 rushes for -7 yards, so the defense mean and nasty tonight. Let's see, Bryce Leonard was 21 of 32 for 142 yards. Landon Graves, 8 of 12. That's 75% completion percentage for 141 yards, so much more efficient tonight with 1 touchdown. No picks, which is good to see after a tough first half last week. We had the 1 turnover, didn't turn the ball over in the second half. Ascension Catholic did not turn the ball over. OCS had 20 first downs tonight to Ascension Catholic's 9 first downs.
Can be a problem.
It can be a problem. 13 of those were rushing first downs. And, we mentioned 1 of 8 third down conversions for the Bulldogs. They finished the game 2 of 13. That's 15.4% third down conversion. Not good. Eagles were 3 of 6 and 2 of 3 on third down. 5 penalties for 50 yards. Most of those came on the one drive with the personal foul, the offsides, and then there was one other penalty. I don't remember what it was.
Well, and let's do this too. Let's just be fair.
Pass interference.
Let's just be fair. Let's be fair on that personal foul. That was not one of. And we had a couple of last week that were they were personal fouls.
Yeah.
This one, was it a personal foul? Yeah,
that's
probably
by rule.
Yeah. But they, you know what? I will tell you that when you brought up the penalties, the Eagles did a better job tonight.
It was a clean game. I mean, I think that one's actually misleading. I think we played a cleaner game than that stat says. The pass interference, again, we talked about that. It was incidental and, just jumped off sides once or twice here and there. So really clean game. But our special teams tonight, Tristan Wiley just going crazy on punt returns. He had 2 returns totaling 105 yards.
Well, you got to dig into that for us, too. We got to know. We're going to have to figure that out because I got to tell you, I've been watching a lot of football here at the school for a long time. I can remember a punt return or 2. I never remember a guy having 2 punt returns for touchdowns in the same game.
No,
got to have happened, though,
yeah,
right?
you watch more than I have. I haven't seen it, but maybe that's a good homework assignment this week. And Sam Harrell, 6 of 6 on extra points. Sam's already going into this game. He was tied for second all time in PATs made in his career at OCS with 147. So add 6 to that. He's had over 150 converted PATs in his career here. So, like I mentioned earlier, great night by Sam, great night by Tristan, especially on special teams. Solid night by Landon at quarterback, but he ran the ball well. Chad Strickland, though, a huge game. Chad had 18 carries for 146 yards, averaging over 8 yards a carry. And you mentioned Tucker. He had 8 carries for 52 yards. So all those on the last drive there to put the game on ice.
Well, it's a great night for the Ouachita Christian Eagles as they host the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs, and they're going to beat Ascension Catholic tonight 42-0. Well, folks, as Daniel alluded to, everybody kind of thought, well, eventually if we're going to win a state championship in 2021, it's going to involve us defeating the Calvary Crusaders. I agree with that 100%. You either do it on their side on the different side of the bracket, or you do it on ours. And I got news for you. I'll have to think about this one again. I'm going to go back in the history books on you a little bit, but boy, I can't tell you when I think we've had a bigger semifinal football game being hosted here at the school. Calvary is going to bring a lot of people. It's a short drive from Shreveport, about an hour and a half. I've got to think they're going to come over to support the Crusaders, and if you think you think the tickets will be easy to come by on this side of the field, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I can tell you everybody's been waiting for a chance to host Calvary here for when it means something. And guess what? When you get a chance to play in the state championship, it doesn't mean a whole lot more when you're playing football. So,
yeah, that's right.
I'll tell you what, it should be a good one.
Yeah, pay attention online this week because I'm sure that's where they're going to start with the ticket sales. So if you want to be here, check your email.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Let's say you can't get here. Let's say you just can't make the drive. Maybe it's too cold. Maybe it's raining. You know what? You can always tune in to us on 92.3 The Wolf. We'll be glad to have you, and I can assure you we will be here to bring you that game. And I tell you what, it should be a great one, and it's kind of what you play these things for. Big games late in the season, and the Eagles are going to have one. And I think it's, it goes without saying, it's really nice to be practicing football that time of the year as well. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, Turkey Day is going to happen on Thursday, And, you know, I got to tell you, I love practicing football on Thanksgiving.
I'm thankful that we have a game next week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it should be a great one with the Calvary Crusaders, who are going to win big tonight over Sacred Heart. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in to tonight's contest. The Eagles do walk away with this one in a big way, 42-0. Invite you to come back and listen to next week's semifinal contest, as the Ouachita Christian Eagles will host the Calvary Crusaders. It's our privilege to bring you the game tonight. I want to thank Stan Humphreys for his work down on the sideline. Of course, well, Daniel does what Daniel does, and without him, I mean, I'm a babbling buffoon up here. I'm all over the map, but Daniel doing great work for us tonight, as always. Donnie Haley, well, I can tell you right now, if I'm not mistaken, we got nothing without Donnie and these numbers up here for us. And of course, none of this gets on the air without the talent and I say that truthfully, a lot of talent that John brings to the table for us week in and week out. And, well, we're going to have to call on him next week, too. I hope he doesn't get his phone disconnected between now and then, because when we call that number, we're going to need it next week, as the Eagles are going to play in the semis against Calvary. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight.